Hey, what do you got there?
The video game has over 200 games.
Cool, 200 games?
That's right. Over 200 games can be yours with Pro 200, the greatest bargain in computer game history. 256 action-packed games all in this one compact unit. And with 15 skill levels for each game, there are more than 2,000 ways to play. Through this special TV offer, you can get the Pro 200 for just $19.98. That's less than 10 cents per game. Play games like Space War, Ping Pong, Race Car, Shooting Attack, and much more. This new computer chip technology replaces older cartridge games forever. Never, ever buy those expensive cartridges again.
Welcome back to another episode of the Straight Edge Game Room. Get ready to throw away that Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, because I got quantity over quality, if you can even call it that. Gosh, did they think we were stupid? Today we're going to be looking at brick games. I don't have that exact model that was in that advertisement, but if you got one of them, you pretty much got them all. So I'm going to show you the two iterations that I have. Let's get into it. I'm really sorry about my voice. It's suffering from congestion. I had the flu not long ago, and my body still has a mess to clean up after it.
Yeah, what are you trying to show off?
But I'm glad you guys came back and shared the pain with me as we look at these brick games. This is going to be an interesting review. Though I do not have specifically the Pro 200, I have its cousin, which is essentially the same thing. They're all LCD brick games that were more reminiscent of games like the Microvision from Milton Bradley. Only that one had interchangeable games, where these ones have several games built in.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
But don't kid yourself, it's not going to replace your Game Boy.
Stupid thing doesn't even want to stay up.
I remember seeing that Pro 200 ad when I was 14, and even then I thought it was ridiculous. The fact that they were trying to market it as a replacement for your Super Nintendo, and they were throwing away Street Fighter II Turbo in the trash, was not only an insult, but it was a slap in the face. And you either bought this because you were stupid or because you were just out of touch with video games in general and you thought it was a better buy. But really, you were getting ripped off. Let's talk about the two units that I have. I'm going to show you their anatomy, but I'm not going to get too deep into that because there's nothing special about them. If you hear any noise outside, you might hear some kids wailing and playing out there. I live in an apartment complex, so just pardon that ambience that might come by every now and then. So this is more like the standard Pro 200. It's got a different name. It's the 999 in 1, but it's the same thing. So turn it on. Only thing I didn't show you when I was playing this thing is the calculator, so we'll mess with that. 2 plus, see the symbol shows up right here and the numbers right there, so 2 plus 2 and then equals 4. Not ideal for homework. It would have been okay if it came out in the 70s as just a little gaming device, some little recreational device for your bus trips. But the fact that it came out in the mid-90s and it was marketed as a replacement for your Super Nintendo is just ridiculous. This one, I believe, is a Walmart brand. I'm not sure. Only it's shaped like a little arcade. Exact same thing, just doesn't have the calculator. I think this one might have a little bit more games than the other one. I'm not sure. I haven't counted them. I'll show you what this one sounds like. I'm going to hold the speaker up to the mic. Yeah. So some of these will have slightly different music, but they'll all have essentially the same games, different iterations. There's really not hundreds and hundreds of games on these. I don't think there is anyway. I bought this green console at a Saber's thrift store, and later I bought the little arcade-shaped one to review on this show because I knew eventually I had to talk. Somebody has to talk about these. I mean, Mark Bussler didn't even touch these, so if he didn't do it, I'll do it. Though I think he's lost somewhere in outer space and not making any more game review shows. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about these horrible, horrible brick games. Each of these games are quirky, and some of them are so convoluted that I don't even know what to do. And a lot of them try to be copies of racing games on the Atari 2600. Some of them try to be Frogger. There's some that try to be
I don't know what I'm doing.
one variation or another of Tetris. And some of them try to be Quarth. But they're all terrible. None of them are executed very well. So if buying these makes you a sucker, why do I got two of them? Well, I saw the green one, the $9.99 in one in a thrift store, and I knew I had to buy it and put it on the show. But I didn't pay the $20 as the television ad suggests. I paid maybe $2 and it came in a bag with a whole bunch of other junk and little toys. But I kept the $9.99 in one. And do I regret my decision? Well, if it means that I'm sparing other people of sharing this pain, then I guess I might be satisfied with my purchase. You know, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point anymore. There's not a whole lot to say about these games. They're not very fun. You won't get a lot of entertainment out of them, even if you're playing them on the John just to pass the time. There's better things out there to play. You're better off playing a Tiger Electronic or one of those terrible games from MGA. But I would just recommend getting a Game Gear or a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy. Whatever. Just not this.
A is for abomination. B is for boring. C is for crummy. I know what you guys are thinking. Stop it. This is a family show. D is for done.